For years, the 101 proof point has been synonymous with Wild Turkey bourbon. But recently, something new has come to the market, something different. The new kid wants to challenge the king. Let's hit that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey. For years, Wild Turkey 101 has been a staple at that unique price point. You say 101, if you're referring to whiskey at least, everybody is going to know that you're talking about Wild Turkey 101, whether it's the bourbon or the rye. It's been on every budget banger list since the beginning of time. It's incredibly affordable and findable at its $25 price point, while also delivering a really, really good drinking experience, a really good bang for your buck, right? Well, recently, another company that is a relatively new player to the whiskey scene has brought their offering to market, something that they think might unperch the king of 101, and that is the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Bourbon 101 proof. Now, are they that comparable? Well, we're going to find out. Couple of things to know about them, right? Obviously, Wild Turkey is a Kentucky bourbon, right? No disputing it. Everybody knows. Okay. This, however, so Redwood Empire is a California-based distillery, but this is a blend of Californian, Indiana, and Kentucky bourbons. This one is a blend of 6 to 8 year old bourbons with that 70th anniversary bottle that just came out being age stated at least 8 years, right? But most of the shelfers you find are going to be a blend of 6 to 8 years. This one is a blend of 5 to 15 year old bourbon. So some significantly older whiskey is in here. $25. This one is going to be about double that, closer to the $50 price point. Now, this is your solid gold oldie, right? It's been there forever. This is your grandfather's bourbon. Everybody knows Wild Turkey 101. It's tried and true. You can't go wrong with it. This one's relatively new. Redwood Empire has only been a player on the scene for a couple of years, which, I mean, in the whiskey game is not a long time. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. The only real difference here is that this is all distilled in-house. This one is partially sourced and partially produced in-house. It is some of Redwood's distillate, and I know that their stocks are aging and they're getting older, but they are still blending in some sourced products. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little side-by-side taste comparison. I'll throw some notes out there, and we'll see which one is, in fact, better. This is good. This tasting is coming at the right time. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Lions lost last night. So the time of this video actually be 2 nights ago. It's been an emotional 24 hours. I can get these poured up. All right. So we have our Stanley on deck with some nice cold water. Get that palate nice and cleansed. Okay. Wild Turkey 101. Oak and vanilla, the slightly burnt orange rind notes, a little bit of citrus, a little cherry. And this is just a really good oaky, sweet bourbon with some citrus and enough spice at the back that it keeps you coming back wanting for more, but it's not so hot it's going to take your head off, right? This is just super approachable for just about anybody, holds up well in a cocktail. This is a quintessential bourbon, right? This is a classic. This has survived the test of time. This bottle was around during the dark days, during the bourbon glut, when distilleries like Wild Turkey couldn't pay people to buy their whiskey. And it's really, really good. The blend has gotten a little bit younger just because demand has gotten higher, but they are still putting out an incredibly good whiskey in this bottling. And now even some of the private selects are coming out, which is essentially just Wild Turkey 101 single barrels, but they're really good as well. Yeah. Citrus, brown sugar, vanilla, wood. I mean, if you guys have had Wild Turkey, you know what it is, right? Okay. Now, let's try the Redwood Empire. 5 to 15 years, same proof point. Let's see. I mean, the colors are a little different here. I mean, I thought they'd be at least closer, but this one's obviously darker. And that's probably because of some of the older bourbon in the blend. Okay, this one has a little bit of a sour red fruit note on the, like I don't know, like I'm sour red fruit and vanilla. Little woody notes that are kind of poking out. A little caramel. Okay. Let's go for the taste on Redwood Empire, guys. Cheers. Okay, this one does not have the citrus. There is a certain, like a super sweet, kind of synthetic red fruit vibe. And the thing that's immediately coming to mind is like red jube fruits. If you've ever had those things, obviously that's a little bit dramatic, but that's what's coming to mind. But on the back, it's all butterscotch, and a little bit of like tannic oak, a little bit like, or just like a little sour wood note. I mean, it's very good though. It is a lot, the transition, or how do I say this? I hate using the word smooth, so I always want to find some fancier way to say it. But really, it is a bit smoother, less obtrusive than the 101. Not that the 101 is bad or clunky. This one is just a bit more velvety, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sweeter, red fruits, caramel, little little bit of white pepper in there. Not a lot of spice on this one. Not no citrus. I think that's kind of the biggest difference. Is this one has citrus, spice, that brown sugar. This is more red fruits, vanilla, sweetness, butterscotch on the back end. Now, which one is better? I mean, honestly, between the two, it's going to depend on your palate and kind of what you're doing with it, right? 101 is usually one of my go-to cocktail whiskeys, but I also drink it neat, specifically in the summers. Because like I said, it's cheap, it's available. I don't mind mixing it with Coke or ginger ale or putting it in a cocktail like an old fashioned. Something like this, I paid twice as much. I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant to mix it into a drink, but I mean, it's not horribly priced. For my palate, because of this, and I'm still just tasting all butterscotch in this one, I'm going to say I would actually prefer the Redwood Empire 101 over the Wild Turkey 101 in terms of taste. Now, if you're going to ask me which one I'm going to go out and buy another bottle of, I mean, this has earned a place as a staple in this bar, right? This guy, probably keep one of these around for sure, because this might be one of my new daily sippers, just because it is relatively available, relatively easy to find, not super expensive, but it's very, very good. I like it. It's not, I mean, it's not gonna, I say very good. It's not gonna change your life, but I'm enjoying drinking it. I would never say no to a pour of this one. Actually, I'd never say no to a pour of either of these guys, but if you're asking which one is better, I'm gonna put the Redwood Empire out ahead of the Wild Turkey 101, just because it's a bit more complex, I think. It matches my palate a little bit more. I was called out on a video earlier today about not stating specifically enough that this is all my palate or my bottles. For me, okay, This lines up to my palate a little bit better. I love Wild Turkey. I do. I adore most Wild Turkey products. But if you're asking me which one of these I'd rather pour and eat and sit down on the couch and watch a football game with, I think it's going to be this one. I think it's going to be the Redwood Empire. I'm sorry. Now, I mean, you put a rare breed up against this and no chance, especially a rare breed non-chill filtered. Put any of the Russell stuff, I mean, anything else from Wild Turkey above, like this is one of their baser offerings. And if it was a Dusty 101, I'm sure there's no contest I'd be taking that. But on this given Sunday, Redwood Empire takes the win, guys. That's just how I feel. So if you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate you. Please go ahead and leave a like, a comment. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We've been growing at a pretty good clip here. We got some exciting things coming up in the next few weeks. My calendar is pretty well booked out. I've kind of got the next month or so planned for videos, reviews, comparisons. I did get a couple of mail calls recently that I'm going to have to try and juggle some things around to get those out to you. But yeah, you guys have yourself a great long weekend. Hopefully you don't have to work on MLK Day, but I will see you next time. Cheers.